Welcome to Raw Dog Gaming. This is the Raw Dog speaking. This is where I give raw impressions and raw reviews of the games I'm playing. And today I'm giving a raw review of Mario and Rabbids 2, Sparks of Hope. So, let's do it raw, baby. Okay, so, I really like Mario and Rabbids. I love these games. They're a lot of fun. I'm a big tactical, RPG person. Yeah, I say tactical RPG. I love turn-based tactical RPGs. That's the secret love of my life. Is tactical turn-based RPGs. I love them. So this game definitely has a special place in my heart. Now it is more like XCOM, which I'm not big a fan of XCOM games because not actually because of the way XCOM plays. It's because I don't like how replaceable the units feel. I like the units to have a hero feel to them. I like them to be like Fire Emblem. I like them to be like real characters. So it also means I'm not a big fan of Disgaea and things like that, where like a lot of units are replaceable. Oh, you lost that unit? Okay, great. Just go make a new one in the classroom. Oh, you lost that unit? Oh, that's okay. Just go recruit a new soldier. I don't like that. I like these units feeling important, like they have serious weight to them, and like they are the hero of the game, and that if you lose them, you're really screwed. So now Mario Rabbids doesn't actually have that screwed feeling if you lose them because they just get KO'd in the round and they just come back next game, next level. But they are important and you get more points if you have all your characters on field. So it does kind of have the same feel, and also the game is very limited. It only gives you 3 characters on the field at any time. So it still feels very tactical in that same sense. So even though like they don't die if they get KO'd, you still have a very serious feeling of like these characters are important. I can't lose one in the fight. Now, here's my issues. I like this game, and I want to start off by saying the problems I have with it. Mario and Rabbids 1 was really good. Every single level was built like a puzzle, and there was always a way to do the puzzle in like the smallest amount of turns. And basically, it didn't actually feel like a tactical strategy game as much as like XCOM would or like number 2 does, because every level was built like a puzzle, and there was actually a way to solve every level, so in every certain way that you could do it. So it felt like you weren't always doing combat. It felt like you were actually solving puzzles, and it was just really, really fun and really good. I really liked that. But now number 2 doesn't actually have that, and that's something I'm really sad about. Every level is not built like a puzzle. Every level is just a tactical fight. And yeah, of course, there are ways you can do better. You can do better tactics. You can finish the battle faster. But it's also kind of randomized, and sometimes the battles are kind of overexploited. Like sometimes they'll put out, there's one very recently in the DLC, which is what I'm going to talk about too. That had you fight, what was it, like 15? Yeah, like 15 enemies, and that was the objective, was kill these 15 enemies, and they're the bucket-headed Goombas. And bucket-headed Goombas are invincible. What you have to do is you have to dash them, and then once they're dashed, you pick them up and throw them off the edge. That's how you have to defeat them. They actually can't take damage because they're considered armored, and the bucket protects them from everything. So that's a real problem, because like, how do I do that in 3 turns? Because the game was like, oh, you have 3 turns to get the best score. And it's like, how do I defeat 13 enemies in 3 turns when they actually can't even take hits? I have to dash them. So I have to get to them, dash them, and then throw them off a cliff. You only have 1 dash per character. Even in the greatest of games with like the base game, when you get to level up your characters like crazy, the best of the characters, which is like Edge, and she's not actually in the DLC, so I couldn't use her in that fight. She gets like 4 dashes, I think, and Rabbid Mario can get 2, or he can get 3, I think, in that mode. So at most you could have like 7 dashes, but still you have to get there. So yeah, you really just couldn't. You really couldn't make it to 13 enemies, dash them all, pick them up and throw them off the side of the cliff before 3 turns were out. It's ridiculous. It's not. You can't do that. So I was really annoyed with like that, because I felt like that's not an objective I can actually do. Now, I'm sure there's a guide on how to get it perfect for that, and I'm sure it involves Rayman using his rocket thingy and getting perfect angles on it to push a bunch of them off the stage. I'm sure there's something for it, but I wasn't gonna go crazy for that. I just did the level. But now, anyway, the point I'm trying to get at is that these levels are not built like puzzles. They are just tactical fights. Now that's cool. I like tactical fights. I love turn-based strategies. I love tactical turn-based strategies. So I'm okay with that. But I do miss that element. That was something I really enjoyed about the first game that I would say is seriously missing in this game. And now, here's the other one. There's something else that's seriously missing in this game. In the first one, every character had a special ability. They had their special weapon and they had their special ability. And they could do other things, again, but they had items. But now, in this game, they have the Sparks of Hope. And the Sparks take the place of the special abilities. So now the characters don't have special abilities. All they have is their special weapon. And now that's cool. They still have something that makes them unique. They have a weapon that instead of having an ability that makes them unique. Because a lot of the characters in the first one were just copies of the other. Like Mario and Luigi were basically copies. I mean, there are a lot of games, but Mario had a gun on his arm. Well, I think Luigi still had a sniper, so he was still like a character that could reach farther. So his gun would work differently. But yeah, but in Rabbid Peach still had her rocket launcher. I think she did. No, she had another gun. She had another gun on her arm. So Mario and Peach were like very similar with the guns on their arms, and basically the characters had a lot of the similar weapons, and it made them make sure they weren't unique. But there was like the sniper character, there was like a machine gun character, there was a shotgun, and then there was the gun. So the characters weren't very unique in their guns or their combat, but they were very good in their abilities. Now this game went a step further and gave them very unique weapons. Every character has a unique weapon. But the problem with that is they don't have unique special abilities anymore. And that was really cool. So that certain characters could do certain things, and it worked with their weapon type, and it also made them very interesting characters to take into combat. But now that the Sparks take over all those abilities, it made the characters very interchangeable. It made the characters actually feel more like copies than they did before, which is weird because now they all had unique weapons and they weren't copies, but they felt more like copies because they felt like, oh, the thing that made them interesting, which was their abilities, is no longer part of them. It's now something that everyone can have. So to make a perfect example, Rabbid Mario had this ability where he took out his banjo and played his banjo, and all of the enemies would gather around him. And that's because he also had a shotgun. He was a brute. So he would do this, and then he would gather all the enemies in one place and take them out with his shotgun. And it was really, really good. It was a very strong combo. It was really good. But now in number 2, he has the fists, and he doesn't have the banjo. So he is not good. He's just a very bad character. But then late game, you can find the Glamour Star, which the Glamour Star does the banjo effect. It brings all the enemies to you. So, or not all the enemies, but a bunch of enemies to you. So then you use that, and then you use the fist, and Rabbid Mario is again a good character. But see what I'm trying to get at here is that now it's not his ability. Any character can use that ability. But without that ability, Rabbid Mario is not really that good because he's a melee character, a strong melee character, but he's still a melee character and the game is based on range. So it doesn't work the same. The game is really good, but I'm saddened by the things that are not as good in it, the things that changed. And like another thing is that, like I said, they don't have their own abilities. So what I'm trying to get at here, it really takes away from the characters' identities of themselves. Like all their identity is in something else. Like Peach is now she used to have she used to be a little bit of a healer, a little bit of a defender. She used to be like a multi-character. Now she only has some defense abilities, and she does use a shotgun. And it's kind of like, what? And they also took out some characters. So you don't get Bowser in this one, so you don't longer have the crazy Rocket Bowser idea. Like, it's just there are some things that are really missing from characters in this game, but the game is still really good. I think the game is still good. Oh, that's what I say. It's the weapon effects. Now the weapons don't have effects on them. Weapons can't get effects. All the effects come from the stars. They all come from all these different things. Like, what was it? Rabbid Luigi was a significantly amazing character in the first game because he had Venom. Was it Venom? Yeah, it was Venom. And Venom allows you to leech life from the enemies, and it was so good. He was this stat busting character that had Venom all over him, and he would just leech life from the enemies like crazy through everything he did, on his dashes, on his attacks, everything. He was such a good character. And number 2, I don't use him at all. He's a garbage character because he doesn't have any of that. What his special ability is that his weapon is a frisbee, and it ricochets from enemy to enemy, and that's it. It's just like, that's not good. And the enemies, and all the other abilities don't really work towards that, because like I said, all the sparks don't really work towards it. So he ends up being a garbage character. Some characters that were just so good got overlooked in the second one because of how they rearranged their skills and how they rearranged their abilities to make them less unique. So, but now I want to talk about the DLC. Rayman was in the last DLC. He was a really interesting character. It was a lot of fun playing with Rayman. It was really fun, really interesting, and really fun to see Rayman back in the game, right back in games. Period. Really interesting to see him in this kind of game. They gave him really interesting skills and all that stuff. So the game was really good, and the DLCs are really fun. So the game itself is a really fun game. I have to say I would recommend it, especially if you enjoyed the first one. It's not my favorite idea. I actually would say I prefer the first one over this one, even though the games were pure copies of each other. I would still say that their abilities made them stand out more than actually having their own weapons and having an ability kind of go along with the weapon, kind of, because they do have an ability. They have their ability, but the abilities are mostly counters. Like, Mario has a counter, Luigi has a counter, Mario Rabbid has a counter, Edge has a counter. Like, 4 characters have counters. Why? It's so weird. So, I really think the abilities they had in the first game made them much more varied. They each had 2 different abilities. And yeah, some of them still had the counters, but like Mario and Luigi still had counters. But they also had other abilities that made them really good. Like Mario had the hop all over the place, hop on different enemies. And he also had the hammer. He could use hammer attacks. It was really good. So yeah, I think the first game was planned better with the puzzles and the abilities. But number 2 is still a good game. It's still a really good game. It's still a lot of fun, and I would still highly recommend it. So yeah, that's that. The review's gone on long enough. So I would say that I'd still recommend Mario Rabbids 2. It's a really good game, a lot of fun, and I would have to highly recommend it, especially if you enjoyed the first one. Oh, I do want to say before I end this that the footage behind this is stock footage. It's the trailer footage. I cannot record my Switch, and that's what happens. So that's all there is to it. And I hope you see you back here next time. I'd like to subscribe if you do those things, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.